Right now at 6, Governor Mike Keogh signs Missouri's controversial new congressional map into law. The redistricting eliminates the 5th district and sparks accusations of gerrymandering.
And we've got a nice start to the day. Temperatures not too bad, and then we're going to start to warm up and our clouds will increase. So look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Girard residents get free help understanding Medicare's complex changes. Open enrollment begins October 15th with new rules taking effect in 2026.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, September 30th. It's the last day of September. Because actually, that's how that little rhyme, or I don't know if you sing it or you just say it, but 30 days hath September. It starts in September.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it starts. It's really easy to remember how many days there are in September because of that. Because even if you don't remember the rest of it, you know at least that beginning line. Tomorrow is October the 1st. Tomorrow will be warmer than it is today, and I'm not okay with that. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not. I like that. That pace was great. Just, that stinks. It does, but that's just the way it is. So again, if you're going out to any fall festivals or anything, you got to be prepared for it to be a little warmer than you might be used to for this time of year. We're going to start with a live look downtown Pittsburgh. There it is. I think the only person in here. Now, Tim, I don't know. Have you had any of the coffee? Tim hasn't had he's the one that's punching all of our buttons. He directs the shows. He puts us on air. And I think that's why that side of everything is running smoothly. There's something in this coffee. There's an old Foo Fighters music video, Learn to Fly, and they accidentally put something weird in the coffee, and the Foo Fighters band has to take control of the plane. It's a funny thing. And I'm thinking that's what's happening here. I must have accidentally dumped something into that coffee because everybody else that's had the coffee, not really on kilter this morning. All right, 7th and Range Line, looking good as well. We'll head down to the MoDOT camera just south of that, which is looking to the north, the Long Range Line. Looks good as well. We do have some patchy fog out there. We've seen some improvements now. Grove, you dropped down to about 4 miles of visibility. You've come up to just over 6. We do have some light fog. If you look, you see that light white color here. So from western Barton County through parts of Crawford County, stretching back towards Chanute. And then we've got some denser fog. Eastern Benton County starting to spread into Bentonville out there as well. So low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Most importantly, slow down. And watch out for rapidly changing visibility conditions as well. Mostly cloudy skies for us today. Future track again still thinks maybe an isolated raindrop or two is possible, but our rain chance is still less than 5%. Temperatures today are really, through the whole day, are virtually identical to yesterday. We're mid-upper 50s to start. Do have some low 60s. Monette, the warm spot right now, sitting at 64 degrees. And as kids head out the door, we're expecting to be about 60. Patchy fog, mostly cloudy, lunch and recess, about 80. 83 as they head home. Temperatures through the morning, upper 60s, near 70 by 9, 80 by noon, and our highs today once again low to mid 80s. Temperatures will continue to climb though as we start to get more sunshine in from tomorrow into the weekend. Tell you how hot it's going to get and when we might get some relief here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, Missouri's new congressional map sparks debate across the state as KOAM's Blake Gully reports. Governor Mike Keogh has signed the controversial redistricting bill into law, but opponents say it amounts to political gerrymandering.
Governor Mike Keogh has put his stamp on Missouri's new congressional map, signing the bill into law among ongoing controversy. The governor says Missouri's conservative common sense values should be accurately represented at all levels of government, and he believes the Missouri First map delivers on that promise. House Bill 1 was introduced after Keogh called for a special congressional session in August. Missouri State Representative Dirk Deaton, a co-sponsor of the bill, says the new map better groups suburban and urban areas.
This is a better map, and it's a better map in a variety of ways. For example, it splits fewer cities and fewer counties than the current map does. I think it's great that this map actually does pair in some cases suburban, urban, rural. These are, some would say they aren't, but I think these are communities of interest in metropolitan statistical areas. We know it's not just the city core.
The major change with the new map is the redrawing of the 5th district, which has been divided among the 3 surrounding districts. Benjamin Singer, a co-founder of the Respect Missouri Voters Coalition, calls this an example of gerrymandering. He states, Missouri voters are tired of being stuck in gerrymandered districts where they can't hold politicians accountable. The only way to end gerrymandering for good is by passing the Respect Missouri Voters Amendment. which would prohibit politicians from overturning measures passed by voters. The coalition is currently gathering the 300,000 signatures needed to get the measure on the ballot. Reporting from Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
The new map backed by President Donald Trump will take effect during the upcoming midterm elections. And yesterday afternoon on I-44 south of Carthage, 2 tractor trailers collided, causing a traffic slowdown that lasted nearly 4 hours. One of the trucks veered to the left and struck one of the large poles supporting the road signs above the interstate. The 57-year-old male driver from Sullivan, Missouri was trapped inside the truck until Carthage firefighters could cut him out. Mercy EMS then rushed him to meet a Mercy Lifeline helicopter at Joplin Regional Stockyards at the crash scene. The recovery required extensive cleanup. The trailer was loaded for various auto parts. Traffic backed up at one time for 4 miles. The second tractor trailer involved only had minor damage and the driver was not hurt. Well, Kansas authorities identified the officer killed in the line of duty over the weekend. It happened just before midnight Saturday night in Hays, Kansas. Authorities responded to a 911 call from a woman who had escaped to a neighbor's house following a domestic situation. Officers began to set up a perimeter to the suspect's home. While taking positions in the backyard, a gunshot was fired from inside the house, striking one of the officers, Sergeant Scott Hyman. Sergeant Hyman was airlifted to a nearby hospital but died later from his injuries. Officers tried to negotiate with the suspect, Zane Wickman. They managed to enter the home around 6 in the morning to find Wickham dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Sergeant Hyman had served the community of Hays since 2016. He leaves a wife and 2 children. The community turned Sergeant Hyman's patrol car into a makeshift memorial. Sergeant Hyman was 32 years old. And major changes are coming to Medicare in 2026, and local seniors need to know what's ahead. K-State Extension agents are hosting information sessions to help residents navigate upcoming premium and plan changes. With open enrollment starting October 15th, experts warn many could be overpaying. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how Girard residents are preparing.
With changes set to impact Medicare in 2026, the Kansas State University Extension Program's Wildcat District wants to make sure Girard residents are up to date. Family Resource Management and Entrepreneurship agent Julie Beeman gave a presentation on the current state of Medicare at the Girard Public Library.
We just want to make sure that beneficiaries know what the changes are going to be for 2026. That includes plan changes as well as premium changes, deductible changes, and just make them as well versed in what's coming.
A main point of emphasis is Medicare's open enrollment period, which lasts from October 15th through December 7th. Beeman encourages attendees to take what they learned today and decide the best course of action with help of a professional.
We just try to give a brief overview of the different parts and then stress the importance of meeting with someone one-on-one, whether it be us during open enrollment or their local insurance agent or somebody that can help them walk through the process.
Although Beeman admits that Medicare is not one size fits all, she does hope she can help people avoid paying more than what they need to.
We have found folks that sign up for Medicare at age 65 and never look at their plan again, and then when they get to us, we find that maybe they were overpaying by a lot of money just because their plans change, their need changes throughout the years.
For her, it's a rewarding feeling to be able to give back to those who may otherwise be unsure.
There are some folks that really, they don't have anywhere else to turn and they don't understand, and we're able to not just save them money, but help them understand their insurance and walk them through some difficult choices when it comes to their health insurance, especially as they're in their older years.
In Girard, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The Wildcat District is open year-round to answer any further questions. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Federal workers brace for layoffs as Washington heads towards a government shutdown. We'll have the latest, plus everything you need to know going on in pop culture. We have your eye on entertainment coming up. And Chris returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:09. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, the Senate is set to vote again today on a House government funding bill in a last-ditch effort to avoid a government shutdown at midnight. Talks have stalled despite President Trump and top White House officials meeting with congressional leaders yesterday at the White House. Democrats are demanding health care protections are included in the deal, but Republicans say time's up. CBS News' Tina Kraus has more from New York.
The federal government could run out of funding in less than 24 hours unless Congress cuts a deal.
I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
A White House meeting yesterday between President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and leaders from both parties ended with lots of finger pointing and no breakthrough on an agreement.
It's in the president's hands whether to avoid a shutdown or not. He has to convince the Republican leaders.
The Republican-led House passed a short-term bill to keep the government funded at current levels through November. But congressional Democrats have put up a counteroffer to keep things running through the end of October. They also want to permanently extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, set to expire at the end of the year, and reverse funding cuts to Medicaid. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on CNN last night.
This is not simply a negotiating tactic. This relates to the well-being and the health of the American people.
President Trump and Republicans say the Democrats' demands are unreasonable.
They're going to have to do some things because their ideas are not very good ones. They're very bad for our country.
If there is a shutdown, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid payments will continue, though national parks and museums will close. Tina Kraus, CBS News, New York.
The TSA warns Americans could expect long lines at airports if the government does shut down. The U.S. Travel Association says the industry could also lose $1 billion a week due to possible disruptions at airports and railways. Well, still to come, your daily dose of pop culture. That's coming up next. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your forecast. Well, concert season kicks off with more tour dates from the Joe Bros and actor Liam Neeson like you've never seen him before. Gwen Baumgartner has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Actor Liam Neeson is taking his action-packed skills from the big screen to Paramount Plus with new movie The Naked Gun. True to his MO of taking down bad guys with some heists and humor tied in.
Says you served 20 years for man's laughter. You mean manslaughter? Must have been quite the joke.
Neeson plays Police Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., fighting crime, finding love with some unconventional fits.
Nobody messes with the police squad.
The comedy is available beginning today on Paramount Plus. Just days after releasing her 5th studio album, Grammy Award winner Doja Cat gave fans another reason to paint the town red.
I don't care, I paint the town red.
The singer-rapper announcing her world tour that spans from Dublin to Madison Square Garden. North American tickets go on sale this week for her Tour Ma Vie World Tour. Meanwhile, the Jonas Brothers announced plans to extend their tour after months of packed shows. This week, adding 19 new dates across the U.S. and Canada. Family comes first for Daniel Day-Lewis. The 68-year-old actor is stepping out of retirement to star in his son Ronan's new film.
I knew that Ronan was going to be making films at some point, and I longed for the chance to try to do something together.
The father-son duo co-wrote the film Anemone together, walking the red carpet over the weekend for its world premiere.
This is it. This is my life.
The movie follows a soldier who reunites with his brother after 20 years. Anemone will be released in limited theaters this Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got, again, some patchy fog out there this morning. Not as much as what we saw yesterday morning, though. And temperatures still warming up, clouds increasing. We'll have a full look at your forecast, tell you just how hot it's going to get in the next few days. When we come back, time now is 6:19. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 622 on this Tuesday morning, starting once again with the fog trackers. We do have some light fog out there for parts of the area, so Chanute, Parsons, Pittsburgh. If you look, you can see that light white color over parts of Crawford County, stretching to Barton County. Joplin slightly below 9 miles out there. The denser fog we have, at least on the fog tracker, is still around the Grand Lake area. So southern Ottawa, Delaware counties, western McDonald counties. We still get some dense fog around Bentonville and eastern Benton County into southern Barry and McDonald counties as well. You also want to just be aware for the possibility of rapidly changing visibilities because you get those dips, you get those little valleys out there, and every so often that fog can thicken up more so than what the fog tracker may be showing here. So just remember, keep that in mind. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them, and slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going this morning. Once fog burns off, mostly cloudy skies for us. In fact, those clouds moving in as we speak. An isolated raindrop or two still possible on future track, but again, our rain chances today less than 5%. The majority of us will simply be dry through the day. Now, as we go overnight, we're still mostly cloudy, but as we head through the morning hours on our Wednesday, these clouds begin to kick on out of here and will be much like we were yesterday, that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. As we head into the evening Wednesday, then we'll start to go mostly clear and will very likely just be clear overnight into Thursday, and that's when more sunshine kicks in. So we'll get a little more sunshine tomorrow. We'll get even more sunshine on Thursday, and well, the sunshine means slightly warmer temperatures, and we're going to actually be warmer going into the first few days of October than we are here ending September. So a little backwards there, but as you can see, there might be a cloud or two out there, but otherwise we're looking at sunny skies on our Thursday. Things looking pretty darn good. Just unfortunately very, very warm for this time of year. Unseasonably warm, to say the least. All right, so again, fog may last through 8, maybe 9 at the latest. Should burn off a little earlier than yesterday. I will start in the low 60s and go back into the upper 70s again. And as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't with us earlier, punching in these numbers hour by hour here, virtually the same numbers as what we saw yesterday, which is very rare to have happen, but the data this morning, it's almost a carbon copy, at least in terms of the temperatures for today, as they were yesterday. In fact, the only thing that changed is the fact we're mostly cloudy. All of these numbers are the same as yesterday, hour by hour. Again, very rare, but it can happen occasionally, but part of that's thanks to the clouds. It's going to stop us from heating up today, but won't stop us tomorrow. Southeast winds 5 to 10, low mid 80s out there. Mostly cloudy through the evening and overnight. We'll fall back. We have a lot of us into the upper 50s this morning. We had some yesterday as well, with just a few low 60s, but tomorrow morning or overnight into tomorrow morning, a lot more of those low to mid 60s out there as temperatures continue to get a little warmer. We'll go mid upper 80s tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, holding on to the low 80s at least through the second half of the weekend. We still have that system next week. Remember yesterday it showed up as early as Sunday. It's been moved back. We're still several days away. The system is still showing up on the long range data. It's just a matter of hammering down that final time as to when it's going to get here, but should bring us some isolated showers and storms, and should also bring us some much more fall-like temperatures back into the upper 70s sometime next week. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a growing number of women who experience difficult deliveries are joining a social media group. Doctors say birth trauma affects about 45% of new mothers, leading to conditions like PTSD, and many say help can be hard to find, which is why a birth trauma mama has become so popular. Stephanie Stahl has more.
A relief to share happy times for these two moms who had death-defying deliveries.
I had a postpartum hemorrhage. I was in heart failure for 6 months.
Danielle McKenna had her son Hudson 3.5 years ago.
I was so grateful to be alive. I was so grateful for Hudson. I was also grieving a lot. My introduction to motherhood, it was so different than I thought it was going to be.
Danielle, who lives in South Jersey, says she felt lonely and isolated until on Instagram she found Kaylee Summers, also known as the birth trauma mama.
I did not believe that my baby was mine.
She's created a community of women sharing their delivery dramas.
Being able to connect with Kaylee was really important for me at that moment in time.
We featured Kaylee in 2021 when she first went viral on TikTok after almost dying when her baby Callahan was born. She was saved with help from a tiny heart pump called Impella.
I wouldn't be sitting here creating this community without Impella.
Kaylee, whose son is 6 now, has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. Why do you think it's become so popular?
I think because unfortunately a lot of people are traumatized by their birth experiences, right? 1 in 3, so over 1 million people a year. It's really hard to say, hey, the thing that I love more than life itself, the person that I was lucky enough to bring into this world, it also happened in a way that was the most devastating experience of my life.
They say sharing brings healing.
There's a whole community of us out there that are willing to support you.
The birth trauma mamas bonding on social media and beyond and getting better together. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
The birth trauma mamas say many women feel healthcare providers dismiss their traumatic experiences, and they hope increased awareness will improve that. And the unhealthy foods that Gen Xers are addicted to, and new warning info about the warning signs of heart attack and stroke. Michael George has the day's top health stories.
99% of people who had a heart attack, stroke, or heart failure have warning signs ahead of time. That's according to a new Northwestern University study that finds key risk factors almost always precede cardiac events. Those risk factors include high blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, or a history of smoking. These findings challenge the idea that heart attacks and strokes often happen without warning. HPV vaccination has a beneficial effect even for those who don't get the vaccine. An Albert Einstein College of Medicine study found the HPV vaccine greatly reduces rates of cervical cancer. And there's evidence of herd immunity, meaning enough people are getting vaccinated that even unvaccinated people are seeing lower virus rates. Researchers say higher vaccination rates have the potential to eliminate cervical cancer globally. And many people in their 50s and 60s show signs they're addicted to ultra-processed foods. Researchers at the University of Michigan found 1 in 5 women and 1 in 10 men in Generation X are hooked on sweets, fast food, or sugary drinks. Studies link eating ultra-processed foods regularly to increased risk of health issues like cardiovascular disease, cancer, obesity, and diabetes. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News.
We're back with more news and weather right after this. Right now at 6:30, from helping people to changing society, discover why more students choose law school despite the challenges. We'll show you the passion driving a 40% increase in applications.
And some of us, some patchy fog out there this morning. All of us eventually mostly cloudy as our temperatures remain above normal. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, McKinley Elementary gets a major safety upgrade thanks to a local donation. How $3,000 will help track students and visitors at the Joplin School.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:33. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday, September 30th. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Last day of the month. Tomorrow is October. Spooky season kicking in. And as we discussed earlier this week, it's already Christmas in some locations as well. I was at one of the home improvement stores, and they had Halloween decorations here, and then right behind it they had all the Christmas stuff already ready to go. So I mean, you can head out and get it all under. Maybe that's a better idea too. Just get it all done now, and then you're set for the rest of the year. You don't have to worry about that later. And also, the weather pretty decent to get out there and set up some of those decorations as our temperatures continue to remain above normal. We're going to start with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, and things are looking pretty good. You can see those clouds; they're building in from the south, and you can see a little bit of the sky peeking through up there. We'll continue to see clouds increasing across the area. Our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin also looking pretty good so far this morning. And as we head on over to the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, you can see that a lot of cars showing up on the road now as folks again continue to get this Tuesday commute underway. And again, for some of us at least, it is a bit of a foggy start. So here's a look at the fog tracker right now. So we still have some fog around the Grand Lake area stretching through parts of Delaware, southern Ottawa, McDonald, Benton, and Berry counties. At slightly reduced visibilities around Chanute, Parsons, Joplin, Carthage, Pittsburgh. So again, nothing significant and nothing quite like what we saw yesterday, but Bear in mind, the fog tracker relies on point data from reporting stations, and it builds this map. So there's also the possibility of some patchy, dense fog out there. So that's why we tell you, watch out for rapidly changing visibilities. Slow down, low beams, not your high beams. And once the fog burns off, mostly cloudy skies for us. Future Track still thinks a couple of raindrops will be possible, but as I've mentioned all morning, our rain chances less than 5% for us today. Temperatures this morning very similar to yesterday. We've got a number of mid-upper 50s out there. Still have some low 60s. Monette's still the warm spot, though, sitting at 64 this morning, where everybody else a little bit cooler than that. Kids heading out the door onto the bus or walking to school. Some patchy fog, about 60. 80 for lunch and recess, 83 when they head home, and that's where our highs are headed. We'll go near 70 by 9, 80 by noon, low to mid 80s for our highs with that southeast breeze 5 to 10. Now, we'll get some clearing tomorrow into Thursday. More sunshine means warmer temperatures. We'll tell you how hot it's going to get and whether or not we're going to return to normal temperatures anytime soon here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, law school admission requirements can be challenging for some students, but KOAM's Ty Parks met some locals, folks on the campus of Missouri Southern who delivered a law school crash course without the challenges.
University of Missouri Dean of Law School Admissions is on the campus of Missouri Southern State University to talk about law school requirements.
Students can talk to me directly throughout the year for help on preparing for law school, but sometimes they have very specific questions, and the best opportunity for them to get to specific questions is to talk to someone who actually goes through and admits students to law school.
University of Missouri comes to MSU once a year, but this time it is different because there has been an increase in law school admissions.
We saw about a 20% increase in the number of students that applied to law school, and at the University of Missouri we saw a 40% increase. There seems to be a continued interest in law school admission.
Various reasons for people to get into law school.
Some of it is politics, some of it is the economy, and then some of it is just an increased interest in the law. But I don't think that you can point to one thing specifically, but I think it's the combination of those things that have come together to create like a perfect mix.
There's a perfect mix of reasons for the students, and the reason could be simply because some students have seen how the law affects people.
Yeah, so I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I've seen lawyers that have done it for the money, and I've seen lawyers that help people. And every time I've met those lawyers that help people, I think they're helping society, and that's something I want to do. And so I have a passion for law, I have a passion for helping people. Why not do both?
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
A law school is a professional degree, which means an undergraduate degree is required for admission. Any undergraduate degree will work for admissions. This means the focus is on the grades someone earned in their undergraduate. Well, a Joplin Elementary School received a grant to help improve safety, and yesterday Frank Fletcher Subaru presented McKinley Elementary with a donation of $3,000. The funds will go towards the school's Kids Account visitor management system, which keeps track of students' locations and building visitors. Frank Fletcher Subaru partnered with McKinley in the past to support classrooms, and school staff say the donation will go a long way in supporting safety. Missouri State University unveiled its newest facility yesterday. The Construction Education Success Center is an addition to Kemper Hall. The 10,000 square foot space is designed to educate more construction majors and meet industry needs. The center includes a 30-foot high training lab, a space for students to get hands-on experience with full-scale construction activities like aerial lift training and crane safety. There's also a construction management lab, a study lounge, and a rooftop terrace. The program director says the new facility will make a major impact. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. From Bolivia to Cleveland, find out how one traveler explores the world on a teacher's budget. And later, we'll have your birthday list and anniversaries. Well, in Consumer Watch, inflation and concerns about the economy are prompting more Americans to seek out deals, especially when it comes to travel, and there are ways to save on trips you may not have considered. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette explains in today's Travel Tuesday from Cleveland.
Bill Kurtz from Oradell, New Jersey is a teacher and proud budget traveler. He's used school breaks to visit Bolivia, India, and Ireland.
I like to travel for as long as I can, and by
traveling on a budget allows me to go places for longer.
Kurt says he does lots of research so he can skip organized tours. He also chooses destinations where the dollar stretches further, including Central and South America and Eastern Europe, and books hotels last minute.
I book the first couple nights when I land, and then I plan as I go.
If you're a more detailed planner, consider when rooms are cheapest.
Zig when others are zagging.
Expedia travel expert Melanie Fish says that means if you're heading to a city known for business travel, visit over the weekend. Choose resort areas when they're off-peak, like now, what's known as shoulder season.
That magic time after the busy summer travel season before holiday travel kicks off.
Also consider less buzzy spots like Midwestern cities that will be cheaper.
It comes down to dollars and cents. It costs less to stay in Cleveland, to get to Cleveland, and to do things in Cleveland.
The Cleveland Museum of Art has free entry. A boutique hotel like Fidelity, where we stayed for a special rate, has rooms for as low as around $100. And Playhouse Square offers less expensive show tickets in the country's largest performing arts center, aside from New York.
Baseball games are also a bargain here. 4 Guardians tickets, a 2-night Airbnb stay, and some food and drinks cost just under $400. That's the 8th lowest price for an MLB away game, according to the sports betting analysis site Action Network.
Progressive Field recently unveiled a $200 million renovation on nearby East 4th Street. Honky Tonk Bar has a southern vibe, and Cordelia serves up elevated dishes for less from a James Beard Award finalist.
We view Cleveland as this kind of poorly kept secret. You know, we say full city, half price kind of thing.
Head to Great Lakes Brewing for craft beers, Alley Cat for oysters, and Larder's Deli for sandwiches in the city no longer known as the Mistake on the Lake. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Cleveland.
As for timing, Expedia recommends booking domestic flights 1 to 3 months out and flying on Thursdays and not Sundays to save money. That's it for Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take it over now to Chris for another look at the forecast.
Yeah, again, we've got some patchy fog for some of us. A really nice sunrise here from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Clouds, though, will be increasing as we head through the morning and into the afternoon hours. We'll break down details and tell you how much warmer temperatures are going to go when we come back. We'll also, of course, have birthdays and anniversaries. Time now is 6:44. All right, time now for some Tuesday birthdays in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Pittsburgh with Josiah Lance, celebrating birthday number 14. A very happy birthday to you, Josiah.
And a happy 23rd birthday to Becca Peter in Chanute.
And we've got Daniel Prophet celebrating birthday number 42 in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday.
And in Jasper, a happy birthday to Candace Harris, turning 45.
And then we're going to head back to Chanute for Patty Schultz, celebrating birthday number 71 today. Happy birthday.
And in Lamar, a happy birthday to Ivan Voorhees, turning 83 today.
And back to Jasper for Jacob and Amber Jennings, celebrating their 14th year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Jennings.
And in Chanute, a happy birthday to Glennis Wilson.
And our list does continue with Brandon Stout celebrating birthday number 56 in Parsons.
And continuing our list with, you said that already. Never mind.
It's
happy
all right.
birthday
It's the
to Glenda Leroy in Chanute.
I am
Party's
telling
in Chanute
you
today for sure.
It is the coffee.
Something's in it.
Something, I don't know what I did, but I made it wrong. Well, it's another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, if you would like to celebrate with us or maybe sample this weird coffee.
Oh no.
What should they, well, you know what, skip the coffee.
Yeah.
But if you want to celebrate, what should they do, Elise?
Yeah, just submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays at KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen and to also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Very important information. Now, in all honesty, I really didn't do anything to coffee. I made it probably, 4:15, 4:30. All I did was put coffee into the thing. I don't know. It's just been a weird day all around, but it's going to be a great day in terms of Well, it's going to warm up, so if you are doing the Halloween decorating, or maybe you're getting a head start on Christmas, you never know, you could do that, because as I mentioned, the stores already have it out. It's going to be a good opportunity to do that. Now, right now, looking back toward the sunrise from downtown Pittsburgh, just a few clouds out there, but off to the south, the clouds are rolling in, and we'll start to go mostly cloudy as we head through the morning. But at least for now, beautiful sunrise views out there. This is from our camera at 7th and Range Line. Like I said, I think it's just the position of this camera on the tower down at 7th and Range Line versus the one in Pittsburgh. It causes a slightly different view of the colors, because this one I think is a bit lower than the one in Pittsburgh. I could be wrong. Could be the other way around. I didn't go up and hang them, but I know that either way, we still get beautiful sunrises out there. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. The sunrise of headlights. Heading in as people get their Tuesday morning commute underway. And for some of you, you've got to use your low beams and your fog lights if you've got them, because we do have some patchy fog. Again, if you look close up, you see that kind of white haze. Maybe hard to see on some TVs, but there's a little white haze here over parts of Crawford County, Barton County, stretching back to the west towards Chanute. That's why there's some slightly reduced visibilities being reported. Now, from our camera downtown, we didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. We also have had fog, of course, around the Grand Lake area. It's parts of Delaware, Ottawa, McDonald County. Some denser fog, though, eastern Benton County, reaching into Bentonville as well, southern Berry and McDonald County. So just be cautious out there, and do watch out for that potential for rapidly changing visibilities. Got a lot of dips and valleys out there, and sometimes that fog, you may not even have any, but you drive down a little hill, and the next thing you know, your visibility drops. So do be careful as you get your day started. Future Track still thinks 1 or 2 raindrops may be possible, but again, our rain chances today less than 5%. We're otherwise mostly cloudy. That will continue through the day and into the overnight hours. Now, as we go into Wednesday, we'll start our morning pretty well mostly cloudy, but as we go through the morning, skies will gradually clear, and then it'll be pretty similar to yesterday, where we have a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, so not a bad day. However, with more sunshine, the temperatures will begin to climb as well. Then we'll start to go mostly clear by late evening Wednesday, probably clear overnight, and then just sunny skies as we head into Thursday. And of course, more sunshine means warmer temperatures. Yeah, it's going to continue to climb as we head through the weekend. So we're actually going to be just a few degrees cooler today for the last day of September than we're expected to be for the first day of October, which is a little backwards, but that's how it's going to play out for us. As for our morning, again, some patchy fog should burn off a little earlier than yesterday, but could continue through 8, maybe 9 at the latest. But the clouds, again, they're already building in. If we took these cameras and pointed them south, you'd see those clouds. They're on their way in. Some of you, especially in our western counties, are already getting into the mostly cloudy skies. It'll be low 60s to start, upper 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Got another look at your forecast and your wake-up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or of course, if you're streaming us on KOAM Plus, you don't need to do a thing. We're going to tell you about the Kansas State Extension agents that are helping Girard residents navigate upcoming Medicare changes. The free presentation revealing how some people are overpaying by thousands of dollars. That and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for September 30th. The top stories to start your day. Governor Mike Kehoe signs Missouri's new congressional map into law during continuing controversy. The governor says Missouri's conservative values should be represented at all levels of government. House Bill 1 was introduced after Kehoe called a special session in August. The major change redraws the 5th district, dividing it among 3 surrounding districts. And investigators work to determine what caused 2 tractor trailers to collide on I-44 near Carthage, creating one of the worst traffic jams in recent memory there. One truck loaded with auto parts veers into a highway sign pole, trapping the driver and requiring an extensive helicopter rescue operation. The second truck suffered only minor damage, but the cleanup took hours. And the Hays, Kansas community rallied around the family of a fallen police officer. Sergeant Scott Hyman lost his life responding to a domestic violence call that turned into a deadly standoff. The 32-year-old sergeant left behind a wife and 2 children after 8 years of protecting the community. The Hays, Kansas community rallied around the officer. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've got mostly cloudy skies out there. We are going to go into the low to mid 80s with that southeast breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening we go. Still mostly cloudy out there. We have some upper 50s to start our day today. We had some yesterday. We're going to have a lot more low to mid 60s overnight tonight into our Wednesday. And as we head through Wednesday, we start mostly cloudy. Skies gradually clearing through the afternoon. Then clear skies overnight into Thursday. More sunshine means warmer temperatures, upper 80s, maybe even some 90-degree readings possible out there as we head into the weekend. We're still watching that system next week, still a few days away. There'll certainly be some changes, but we're looking at some isolated shower chances and thunderstorm chances, and temperatures hopefully next week should return to normal.
All right, and coming up today at noon, we're making potato-crusted salmon in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
You can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll meet with the Arma Shelter, who is helping the SEK Humane Society in their time of need. We'll also hear from members of the Joplin Quilt Show ahead of their fantastic event as well.
We certainly will. A lot of great stuff coming up at 7 a.m. And, of course, a whole nother hour of the morning news. Like I said, if you're on KOAM Plus, that's the nice thing about streaming, is we stream our shows live on KOAM Plus, which means if you are just needing us in the background, you need to catch up on what's going on, you don't have to change your channel anymore. You just stay right there, and we'll be with you all morning long. And who doesn't want to spend time with us, right?
Well,
I mean, maybe there's
tomorrow how I feel about that.
Well, that's going to do it for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.